Hi, my name is Teresa Jurgens, and welcome to episode 37 of the Innovation Process book. We've been reading in part 4, Lean New Product Development Processes. Part 3 covers a different hybrid process, the WAGIL process, and part 1 and part 2 cover the waterfall, staged and gated, and Agile Scrum, respectively. We are getting to the near end of chapter 19, talking about phases and tools for lean new product development. And this episode will cover workshop 4, process and product optimization, covering pages 268 to 276. If you've been following along, you know you can get a copy of the book with the QR code on the screen from Amazon. Again, I recommend the paperback over the Kindle version just because there's so many figures and graphs in the book. It's so helpful for you. And you can register for our course starting October 15th, 2025 with the other QR code on the screen. So let's go ahead and cover workshop 4, process and product optimization for lean product development. Workshop 4, process and product optimization. Like the prototype and engineering workshops in lean product development, process and product optimization may occur in just one or during several separate workshops. While it is important to delay freezing the design until as late as possible in a lean project, once the specifications have been determined, we look for opportunities to reduce errors and waste. In workshop 4, the team continues to look for ways to minimize manufacturing costs while maintaining product quality. The goal is to maximize revenue delivery to the firm while at the same time creating a highly valuable product for which customers will pay premium prices. Some expected inputs and outputs for the process and product optimization workshops are shown in figure 1917 here. With the objective of preparing the product for commercialization, the process and product optimization workshop is designed to identify cost savings. Some categories of cost savings include labor, automate operations and reduce inspection points, materials, reduce scrap and waste, low-cost raw materials, overhead, inventory, material handling, administration, and so on, design, develop platforms with exchangeable parts, and capital, reduce the purchases of new equipment and produce on existing equipment without retooling. Participants. In addition to the core lean new product development team, it is crucial to involve finance and cost accounting experts in the optimization workshop. Quality management, supply chain, outbound marketing, and logistics subject matter experts also provide critical information to streamline manufacture and sale of the new product. Legal and regulatory experts may be invited to the workshop or will provide inputs to ensure that the product has appropriate intellectual property coverage, complies with required standards and regulations, and meets branding guidelines for the category and company. A suggested agenda for the workshop is shown in figure 19-18. While the primary management review to authorize commercialization is scheduled with the commercialization workshop, some teams invite management for a short 15-minute debrief at this point. The program manager will have updated project constraints throughout the new product development project lifecycle on the project dashboard. Any exceptions to the constraints will have been previously approved, so management will be aware of the full cost of the project at this point. Generally, as long as the project is advancing within expected constraints and is in line with the agreed upon schedule, there is no theoretical need to add a management review to workshop 4. Tools for process and product optimization. As a new product advances through the project management system, work effort migrates from exploration to exploitation. Thus, many of the tools and techniques deployed in the process and product optimization workshop are well known to the participants. Many of these, as shown in figure 19.1 in a different episode, include traditional cost and quality management exercises that are ongoing in an operating company. Other widely available resources, such as business management texts and websites, provide detailed step-by-step instructions for these tools. And a brief overview of these tools and applications in Lean New Product Development follows. Tornado diagram. The tornado chart shows how different variables impact the project. It typically shows a view of risk to the probability and profitability of the new product success. In the example tornado diagram shown here in figure 19-19, variables impacting net income are shown, such as sales volume and raw materials cost. While the data in the example figure has been scrubbed to protect confidentiality, values to the left of center, the black bars, reflect downside risks, while those to the right, gray bars, express upside potential. Data is usually plotted as a percentage of the target or base constraint from the business case. The chart is called a tornado diagram because the outline of the bars resemble the shape of the classic storm clouds. In this example, the Lean New Product Development team would note that expected sales volume has a higher percentage chance of not meeting the target since the deviation to the left is greater than that of the deviation to the right. Cost targets in several categories also demonstrate significant risk, such as raw materials cost, conversion cost, and sales expenses. Overlaying the project constraints on the tornado diagram can help to identify factors of the product development project that require immediate attention. During the process and product optimization workshop, factors plotted on the tornado diagram with highest variability are discussed by the Lean product development team. If the expected high and low levels for sales volume fall within the project expectations, then the team takes no action. However, where there is a significant downside risk for product revenue, for example, participants in Workshop 4 will suggest remedies to address the issue. Perhaps revenue can be optimized by offering the product through different sales channels. Similarly, raw materials costs may be optimized by selecting a preferred vendor or holding larger quantities of supplies in inventory. As each factor is addressed iteratively, the tornado diagram is updated. Cost to quality. One of the great quality gurus was Junichi Taguchi, who introduced the concept of the loss function, also known as cost to quality or CTQ. While each component of a product is produced with its own quality standard, the assembly of components can yield varying degrees of quality. CTQ is used to estimate the product cost of deviating from a target value, since a high variation in quality increases costs. A conformance-based specification means that a product component is accepted if the quality falls within a predetermined range. Using target-oriented quality specifications, components are manufactured as close as possible to the target value. Issues in the overall product performance can arise if, for instance, one component is near the lower quality specification level and another is near the high specification level. When assembled, the two components may have a loose fit, leading to other rework or scrap. Even if the overall product passes quality inspection, customers may be dissatisfied with the looser fit and long-term product sales can suffer. Establishing a CTQ analysis for a new product requires gathering data from the pilot and first production runs, as well as specifications and actual data from vendor-supplied parts. The loss function is a quadratic equation resulting in a parabolic curve bounded by the low and high specification levels for the product. A flatter curve may indicate that the target specifications are set too broadly. However, it is the decision of the Lean product development team and chief engineer to evaluate the required quality level for the product based on the project business case. It is important that quality and finance subject matter experts, or SMEs, provide input for the process and product optimization workshop, including elements production trials. As part of ramping up to full commercialization, Most new products will require manufacturing production trials. A production trial will test that the factory requirement equipment performs as expected and that quality tests accurately measure the correct product functional variables. Pilot tests provide data for engineering design, but there are frequently different issues that arise under real-time conditions. It is important that the engineering designers and manufacturing personnel are present in at least one of the process and product optimization workshops to offer feedback on production trials. Many companies conduct different production trials to test different manufacturing variables. At one level, new equipment is tested for functionality. At progressive levels of testing, the equipment is integrated with other production elements to ensure that plant throughput will meet market demands. Raw materials, which often have different specification and purity than those used in pilot tests, are also verified for run conditions during production trials. Our client that sold household appliances used 2 manufacturing scale trials before releasing new products to commercialization. The first test was to verify that tooling and equipment could manufacture the appliances to specification, producing less than 100 devices. An adjustment period followed to make corrections to factory equipment, packaging lines, and product handling. The second production trial then validated throughput and quality for a few thousand devices. In order to advance the new product to commercialization, both production trials needed successful results as well as complete quality and regulatory testing. Quality testing includes, as in the case of the household appliance producer, destructive testing to determine engineering parameters and product life guarantees. Other quality tests ensure that the first few items and last few items in a production run are manufactured to the same quality standard. For instance, wear and tear on tooling can cause parts to fall to the outer bands of specification. Finally, in the case of chemical production, impurities in raw materials can impact final product quality and purity, as well as byproduct manufacture, which can be significantly different than in pilot tests using laboratory-grade raw materials. Handling and disposal of byproducts can negatively impact the profitability of a manufacturing process. With these considerations for production trials, some chief engineers will request multiple process and product optimization workshops within the Lean New Product Development Framework. Manufacturing, quality, and finance personnel are necessary to provide data and collaborate at this juncture. To find the most effective and cost-favorable production method while still providing the expected quality to deliver value to customers, the Lean Product Development team requires broad skills and real-time data. Simplified value stream mapping. Understanding opportunities to reduce waste in the product design or manufacturing process is a fundamental outcome of the product and process optimization workshop. Lean New Product Development focuses on reducing knowledge waste, but as the product moves into full-scale production, traditional process tools such as value stream mapping can help identify opportunities to streamline manufacturing. In particular, if an existing process is adapted to produce a new product, there are typically ample opportunities to eliminate or reduce excess steps, labor, or processing. Value stream mapping, VSM, is a flowchart technique starting with the current state process. We discuss simplified value stream mapping in great detail in Appendix B of the Innovation Process Book. In a traditional value stream mapping exercise, a broad-based management team identifies the current state process by observing and interviewing production personnel. Processing and cycle time data are collected and reviewed by a collaborative team. In Lean New Product Development, the manufacturing value stream map for the new product is, as designed and engineered, then evaluated to find opportunities to streamline production and to save money or time. Steps that reduce waste in processing time or save money are ranked by the team during the process and product optimization workshop. For new products, an additional trade-off variable for value stream mapping is time to market. As expected, this decision falls to the chief engineer as long as the budget and schedule remain within project constraints. Sales and marketing, finance, cost accounting, quality logistics, and manufacturing personnel are crucial participants in creating the future state map, as well as designing planned activities to accomplish. Not all of these tasks will be required for the new product to advance to full commercialization. Simplified PU selection. This PU matrix is a selection tool to compare different alternatives in order to select the best one. In a lean new product development environment, the discussion of alternatives on the PU matrix generates a wealth of information for the process and product optimization workshop. Subject matter experts advise concept selection, manufacturing options, and other value-added design elements. Once a team becomes familiar with weighing alternatives using a simplified PU matrix, the tool is valuable to help select features and functions for the product, as well as to engineer and design manufacturing alternatives. Sometimes a PU matrix is called a decision matrix or value analysis matrix. In combination with the function map, the simplified PU matrix can be very powerful. Must-have criteria for the product or process are listed as rows, and design alternatives are considered in the columns, as shown in Figure 19-20. During the Lean New Product Development Workshop, team members and subject matter experts rank the various alternatives as compared to a default baseline alternative. It is important to designate one of the alternatives as default to assist comparison. The default may be an existing design or the baseline processing steps considered to be lowest risk. Alternatives should always include a lower cost option and a higher quality selection. In Figure 19-20, a simplified PU matrix shows different options for a single feature. The criteria for the feature are labeled A through E. For example, the feature under consideration may be the volume for an automatic drip coffee maker. Options A through E represent different sizes ranging from a single cup to 12 cup thermal coffee pot. The default is a 10 cup uninsulated coffee pot, which receives a weighting of 10 since both the market and manufacturing processes are known. Additional options for the volume of the coffee maker may include additional single cup brewing and thermally insulated brewing vessels. During the workshop, the Lean New Product Development team and subject matter experts evaluate the importance of the feature to the success of the product in the market, considering cost and manufacturing capability. Important factors will range from -3 to +3. Feature B, for example, represents the single cup brewing option and is weighted low in design complexity, but received a +2 score for importance to the customer. Overall, the feature scores 15 since each level of importance was assigned a value of 5 by the team. Summing all the options for variable coffee pot volumes, this option resulted in a score of 55. In this example, the Lean New Product Development team compares providing different sized coffee pots, option 1, to another function that puts a timer on the coffee pot. Following the PU matrix for the timer function, the team ranked the overall option with a score of 35. Assuming typical cost trade-offs, the chief engineer will use the wisdom of the team to build the new product with option 1 instead of option 2. The features for option 1 would include C and E, since these are valued substantially higher than the default. Tools like the simplified PU matrix, the tornado diagram, and CTQ are typical methods used to optimize operating plants. Adding cost accounting, marketing, and finance personnel to the workshop session leads to improved outcomes for the product and process design. Following the process and product optimization workshop in Lean New Product Development demonstrates technical readiness through production and plant trials, and the new product is moved to formal commercialization.